Hello. Hello, friends. Hello, humans and felines alike. How are you? It is I, your favorite whimsical oracle, and my compadre, Mila. Would you do me a favor? Would you sit up there? Yeah, like that. Sorry, I gotta just crossing my. There we go. Hi, everybody. How is the world doing? Um, let's see what's going on out there in the world. I don't have COVID anymore. Sorry about that. I wanted to get some tissue there. Hello, Mila. How are you? Okay. Does this surprise you, Joel? Is anybody surprised by anything these days? I mean, it's strange. I'm sorry, I don't have a cold anymore. I did finish eating some food, which gives me a little bit of a cough. What should I do first? Okay. Yes, report Iran pulling forces, excuse me, out of Yemen. Hmm. Report says Iran is pulling forces out of Yemen amid intensive U.S. airstrikes on Houthis. Houthis are being funded by Iran. Hi, baby. So, and Hungary is now being nice to Israel. So we know something's going on with trade. And we know that they're moving into the Philadelphia corridor. What do they call that? Anybody know? The meringue corridor sounds like a meringue corridor or something. I don't know. Anyway, how is everybody doing? Is everyone good? Is everyone safe? Taking care of yourselves? Are you eating right? Are you doing your taxes like I am? Who here is doing their taxes? Who here doesn't like doing their taxes? Yeah, I know it's not fun, is it? No. Just looking for news stories. I think the main issue that everybody wants to talk about is the stock market. Yep. Stock market. How you guys doing with the stock market? I think that's the first thing. Welcome, everybody. If you're just taking a seat, this is our Thursday. What did we call this? Oh, it's a happy hour. That's right. It goes like 5 to 7 or 5 to 6 or I don't know. People come here and they get drunk. Okay, that's what happens. I do whatever makes you happy. right? Do whatever makes you happy. I am a teetotaler. I do not drink. However, I judge no person. I will have a little bit of wine on like Friday night if they do the Brock blessing. I'll have it just makes me sick. I can't stand alcohol. Once in a blue moon, I'll have half a beer. Right now, I'm having some coffee. My all-time favorite is Pete's. Yeah, I mean, I go on these holidays, like I take cruises and Puerto Vallarta, and everybody's running around with fancy drinks, and I'm sitting there with a Diet Coke working on my thesis. So there's obviously something wrong with me. But there is something nice sitting and enjoying the pool and the breeze and a cute waiter that's flirting with you while you're writing your thesis. I mean, if you've got to write about war zones, you might as well do it by a pool, in Puerto Vallarta, looking at a cute pool boy. True, true. Let's just admit it. All right. So in the last day, we have a 3.9% drop. And in the last month, we have a 6.12. That's pretty significant. And it's looking like yeah, we've wiped out we've wiped out over a year's worth of gains. The other thing if you're looking at futures, you can see later in the day it just really kind of went berserk because it was just a sell-off. I think that if you're looking at futures tonight, you'll probably see some more of this. We might see it slow down by Tuesday of next week. If you want to go ahead and write that down, I can go ahead and do a full remote for you guys. This is just me scanning it right now. It looks like we'll probably get something will happen by Tuesday, and then something significant's happening Tuesday. I should probably throw cards on it. All right. So that is what's going on there. Like I said, I sold a lot of my stock because I had done the remote prior about the February 19th drop. And yeah, I just put mine into bonds and cash. And then when the market stabilizes again, which it will, this is one of the things I enjoy about being a remote viewer is seeing that America is a lot stronger than we realize, but we do need to unify for the good of the country. But our infrastructure, our companies, our business, the amount of money and wheeling and dealing we're doing, it would take a lot to take down the United States. It really would. Well, let's go ahead. We'll say hi to everybody who's kind enough to be here and to spend time. Hi, John Gerald. Good to see you here. Valerie F. in the house. Hello, Debbie M. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Laura Hammond. Hello. The volume is low? The volume is low? Let me check. Do you need me to be a little closer, darling? Or are you just saying that because you want us to cuddle? Oh, yes. Everybody's talking about, I'm looking at what's going on, Midas touch and everything. It's all about the market crashing. And what can we say about it? I don't know. I'm just confused about why he would want to do this and why he would have been motivated to do this. And I'm just confused. I don't really oh, there's a cute Subaru commercial on my channel. That's they know me. That's exactly the kind of car I would like to own as a Subaru, right? Something really safe. Or a hybrid. I'm all about safe lady cars. Subaru is like a lady car. Yeah, easy breezy. Subaru is like easy breezy. Oh my gosh, I think we should just do the empath prayer and just it's good to see you all. Oh, did my cat take off? Mila has ditched us. She evidently does not find us to be remotely interesting. And I apologize for that because I'd like to think that we are fascinating, but Mila thinks that we are pathetic, and yeah, so that's what's going on there. So before we bring in the empath's prayer, and of course we will be praying for anyone who needs to receive a healing at this time, my question to you is: have you gotten the cleaning bug yet? Are you in the Lent energy? Are you in the pre-Passover where you start throwing out the old and getting ready for the new? There is this idea around this time where we're letting go of the slavery of the things that have held you back in the past. Because Adar, Aries, is actually the first month of the year. Or not Adar, I mean Nisan, excuse me, Nisan. And which is this time of year in Adar is the 12th, which is Pisces, right? So we think of it as the ram, which the ram butts with his head, but in Hebrew Rosh is head, or the Rosh the first. Now you have Rosh Hashanah, which is the new year, which is in the fall, but it's not the same new year as the first month in the Hebrew calendar. So it gets to be a little bit confusing. Isn't that strange? I think one was to do with, I think that it was different because Yom Kippur was the time when you would do the harvest and then you would pay the landlord. And so you reaped what you sowed literally. And so it was the Rosh Hashanah where you prayed, and then we were this tied to the land around September, October when we start, and then comes the feasting in the tabernacles, right? We get to have these nice Sukkot. So I think it had to do with paying for the land, reaping the seed, and that. So it was the first. It was the first year for that. But the first year, in terms of just the astrology of 13, there's 13 months in the Hebrew calendar. It's actually Nisan or Aries, which is right about now. So it can be a time of war, which we're seeing, right? So in terms of how it's connected with the cards, it's the wands. Wands burn, wand is fire. It's also associated in Chinese medicine with the cardiovascular system and the triple heater or the immune system. And in Ayurvedic, the pitta dosha. The pitta dosha. So that is how you could view it. So the organs that are affected with wands are the cardiovascular system, right? But also the wood element, and the wood element would be gallbladder and liver, and the green of the bile. So those are the organs that we see affected by this time of year. So maybe you're having a little bit of digestive upset. Maybe your liver is a little congested. This is the time to be careful about not consuming too much fat in the diet. The springtime, the spring leaves, when we cleanse the liver is the time of the springtime. Yeah, so that is associated with wands energy. So heat, fire, and wood, fire and wood. So Yeah, so be mindful of that. And then you have its opposition, which is you have the strengths and the weaknesses. So 6 months from now puts us into whatever the opposition is. So the opposition to wood is usually the swords, because swords are used to cut down the wood in Chinese medicine, or metal, the metal element. So metal is like Aquarius energy, logical, reason. And metal is associated with the lungs and the large intestine. So what happens is the time when fire is strong, the other organs are weaker, and so you'll have too much heat in gallbladder and liver, and then you'll have weakness in the metal element, which is lungs and large intestine. And so, what is that equation giving you? Heat and weak lung, a weak large intestine, and heat. You got what? You have a spring virus, right? So why do we see? This was a question that somebody had asked me energetically, what's going on, etc. So with COVID, so why did Dr. Anderson get another bout of COVID? So I, like the rest of you, partook in spring break, right? And what happens in spring break is that you have more people being exposed to one another, and so that means more opportunities for the virus to spread. And so then it reaches a particular pinnacle, particularly if you're hanging out at PSU, Portland State University, which is, this is itching for some reason. I think I've got a tag or something. And so what happens is that it accelerates the amount of people that it jumps from virus to virus to virus. But also in terms of Chinese medicine, it's the time of year when your metal element is weakest. And so your metal element is going to be attacked. What does a virus that attacks the metal element look like in the cards? If the metal element is getting attacked, how might the universe talk to you about that? What card could describe the metal element going crazy or going on the fritz? We're just having a chat while people show up. Welcome everybody. This is our happy hour. Take a drink. We're just having some basic conversations about the tarot, how it correlates with Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine. So, Knight of Swords is that crazy wind, right? And so why do we think about wind and metal, right? In Chinese medicine, wind is you breathe, right? You need to be able to breathe through the lungs, and sword is metal. Metal controls what in Chinese medicine? Wood, right? So who's controlling who, right? So in the spring, in the fall, we'll see the strength of the lungs, right? And in the spring, we'll see the strength of the liver. The problem with liver or liver aggravation is that liver and a large intestine can be expressed as anger. So a lot of the time when the liver gets infected, the relationship also between these two organs is that viruses will go through the liver, right? Oh, I'm a doctor. I'm a naturopathic doctor. And I spent several years studying Chinese medicine as well. So what we're learning when we look at the tarot is we're learning a couple things. We're learning that the early use of these picture cards were that doctors couldn't read, right? So when we think about barefoot doctors, that we've talked about it, that traveled along, the Silk Road. These were women that literally were barefoot, and they would travel. you think that you're strong or I'm strong. I'd like to think I'm really strong, but when I read the stories of these women, I can't help but think, now that's strong. And they may have followed their mother with their acupuncture needles and herbs all the way from China into India, across India into what is now Iran, the Levant, and then parts of Rome, Greece, etc. So that's a heck of a trek all on foot, right? And so and so what these women would do is they would carry pictures that they would draw of organs and body parts and in Chinese medicine, and then the patient would point to where the problem was. And then they would also use symbols from characters from stories and legends. Now, if you're traveling the Silk Road, you're talking about Gilgamesh. You're talking about tales of Gilgamesh. You're talking about, excuse me, the 1001 Nights, Arabian Nights, these kinds of stories that would travel. So characters were often very famous. So you would ask about a certain body part and point to the body part. But the other thing is that in order to fortune tell, if you couldn't read, you couldn't open up the Bible. Excuse me. You couldn't open up the Bible and just pull out a verse and read it because you couldn't read. But what you could do is you could pull up a card. And if the card pulled was, a Knight of Cups, it would mean a suitor was coming, or that it was auspicious for your daughter to marry or something like that. So, and then the other thing was that it was very common to go to a shaman to have your astrology done for yourself or for other family members. Isn't that interesting? Sorry, I have something in my throat. Yeah, and the Torah and the Talmud talks a lot about these women, like the widow of Endor. I mean, it was a good living. Your husband's dead, and now you've got to go and treat women's ailments and do these things and travel the Silk Road. The thing that was kind of interesting in the stories I read was that these women kept learning. They kept learning. They might start as a young girl, leaving China, studying on their grandma's foot, so like following, learning about medicine. And then they go into Persia, and then they learn about hospitalization techniques in Persia and certain ways of dressing injuries. And so wherever they went, they were collecting knowledge. So in answer to your question, Denise, somebody early had asked the question. So the correlation between Chinese medicine and the tarot is pretty specific. And that's because we think both grew out of the Silk Road and evolved in what is today the modern tarot or Torah. What may have been that they were just doctors that couldn't read, and so they were using picture cards. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the empath's prayer. If you'd like to be included in the prayers, please go ahead and include your name or the name of somebody you love, and we will include them. Pentacles is earth, which would be stomach and spleen. Cups is water, bladder, kidney. Yeah, diagnosing, like being able to show somebody pictures and being a medical intuitive. Can you imagine? Just like what we're doing now, 4,000 years later. Isn't that crazy? We're looking at pictures. We're going with our intuition. We're studying the herbs. We're traveling all over the world. Only now I get on a plane and do it. And I mean, like, I've done that. I've traveled to Greece to study the herbs, Israel to study the herbs. Right now, I'm going to Ben Gurion U. I want to talk to their Bedouin. They have Bedouin studies to see if I can learn about Bedouin medicine and herbalism. So humans don't change a lot, do we? You know, barefoot doctors are still around. We're still doing our thing. It's just that now we're on airplanes instead of, you know, same old, right? All right, let's bring it in. Okay. I'm going to call on white light protection for myself in this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. And for those of you who are requesting a healing at this time, we pray that you and those you love receive a perfect healing in mind, body, and spirit. And together, collectively, as a community, we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. May all souls be healed. Welcome, beloveds. Would you like to do some blitzes? Yeah, I've always wanted to be a barefoot doctor as soon as I heard about them. And now that's basically what I do. I hate shoes. I hate them. As soon as I come home, I tear them off. Okay, thank you, Joel. Everybody give up love and gratitude to Joel Tilson, our floor director. He is the person helping me see. I don't always see your questions. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It's just that I'm blind as a bat. The first issue people want is for us to look at the economy. People are concerned about inflation. People are also confused and they think that this will drive people to buy American, but that also is confusing because if we cannot get the parts which are made overseas, some of American made stuff is made here in the United States from parts that are produced overseas, which means that ultimately even the stuff made here in the United States is going to wind up being expensive. Oh, thank you for the love. Look at all those beautiful hearts. Thank you. So people need to understand that it will affect U.S. businesses. Yeah. All right, let's take a look. The economy, Knight of Swords. Remember what we had said about Knight of Swords? It's like the angry wind. The other thing we had said is that we can expect angry wind in April, and that I had said the wind would be worse than the rains, and we just had the winds hitting. 8 people died or something. Is that correct? I'm so sorry. Somewhere, was it in the Midwest? Please take care of yourselves. That angry wind energy that comes to bite you right. You think that you've missed it. Spring is here, but I see some angry winds. Also, this is the general feeling. It can be viruses attacking the lungs. We've talked about the fact that springtime is one of the times when the lungs are weak, right? We have overactive gallbladder, rage, and liver, blah, right? It's associated with anger. And then we also have stress, which is associated with depressed immune system. So anger, viruses, wind, fire. Fires can spread quickly because of the wind. Rage, that helter-skelter energy is here. If it's over the issue of the stock market, then like everything else, the stock market is being affected. The opposition, the sun is coming out. The hopes and fears, Ace of Cups. And the final outcome is an inverted Ten of Cups. I think the billionaires and millionaires think he's lost his mind and they're out. The people, it's going to be very difficult for senators that pumped there were wealthy people that got convinced to endorse Donald Trump. People got them to, people like the Speaker of the House convinced people to invest in Trump. And now they see what this guy has done and they're out. That is what I hear. So Wall Street is out. The banking investors are out. There it is again. They're beginning to question the president's ability to serve. Honestly, I don't think the president's in charge. I think that it looks like the millionaires are in charge because something's going to change and we're going to be okay. But things are going to be crazy for the next couple of weeks. It's like sometimes you have to just go take care of yourself and let somebody, if it's not affecting you directly, let somebody else get a headache over it because this too will pass. Like, I took it as an opportunity. I sold high because I was like, I got a bad feeling. I'm just going to weigh this one out. And then I'll buy back in a couple of weeks or whatever when things stabilize. And it's like I made a little money out of the deal. So rather than just freaking out, just ride the wave of it. If it's impacting you, if it's not impacting you, then just don't worry about it. But I never see, God, something is really irritating me on this. I cut you ever get those things where they just irritate you? This thing has one on the back that just irritated me and I cut it and now it's itching me. I swear, I'm the princess in the pea. All right. Well, Iran be attacked. They're threatening nukes. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And yes. All right. Inverted moon card. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the fall of Nazi Germany. And some could argue that Iran is Nazi Germany in the sense that they kind of adopted, they all became huge supporters of Adolf Hitler, Syria, Iran, right? Some Palestinian leadership, right? So you had this Mein Kampf kind of an attitude. When the fall of Germany hit, they were in denial because they were so convinced that the Fuhrer was going to save them that even when the Allies were marching on Berlin. So what you have here is you had the inverted moon card, which is interesting to get because to get the inverted moon card would indicate mental insanity. And so it's interesting when you go into the energy of Iran and I believe the moon is the symbol, right? The unknown, the imuna, the soul, right? The hidden soul, is a symbol of Iran, right? But an inverted moon can be that these individuals may be so insane that they believe that God is going to rescue them at the last minute, and that's why they don't have to be afraid of the United States. So it's this, they have bought into their own propaganda. But they also have members of the IRGC that want to assassinate them. Their own guard is thinking of trying to assassinate them. So then when your own guard is trying to assassinate you, that's look at that, moon and sun, right? How's that for an opposition, right? So basically, the sun is with the United States. Anybody surprised? And then it goes back to this whole idea of sun is heat, fire. So yeah, they're delusional, hopes and fears. King of Cups would be in his cups or delusional. And then the final outcome, 10 of Cups. I think they're going to be liberated. I think that I think the people of Iran view it as liberation. They want the Shah back because the Shah represents their values. And they feel that the Shah, look at this, crazy talk. I think Iran will fall, and I think that Iranian leadership will face trial. Like, another woman is brain dead. Can you believe it? They sexually assaulted a woman for not wearing hijab. Then I think she went to the police for help because she'd been sexually assaulted by the police. And then for that, she was tried and assaulted and then hung. So if you've got a government like that, it's only a matter of time before the people take the government down. The same thing happened in Syria. So you have one by one this domino effect where all of these corrupt countries are just collapsing one at a time. How do you guys feel about that? Goes back to what Gandhi said, right? All tyrants fall eventually, because it's not, the people eventually, if you lose the people, you can't govern through torture. Okay, GOP joining Democrats to stop Trump's tariffs of Canada. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me either. I mean, tariffs to Canada. Inverted Three of Pentacles. They're suing them for broken contract. This is something that came up. We're in violation. He's facing international. Gosh, I keep seeing this issue of heart disease around Trump every time. It means poverty for the U.S. and Canada. Poverty, poverty, poverty. So, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I don't know. It's like we waste. This is the problem when you have somebody in power who's erratic. All this energy now has to be spent stopping Trump from doing this thing. But everything's going to be okay. 10 of Pentacles. So it's complete chaos. And then, it goes back to the remotes where we had said that Marco Rubio was going to push a red button to get, Mayday, Mayday. Marco Rubio declared war on Musk. Like, if he's the guy that was having the private meetings with the Senate and privately with the cabinet and giving a red alert to the courts. there's a way to get rid of somebody like Musk, and there are certain things you do legally, and Rubio has done that. So I think he filed emergency motions. I think that there were hidden emergency motions. I think he had emergency meetings with the Senate, and I think they stopped him. And I think that Marco Rubio sees through him and thinks he's a con artist. Yeah. Oh, congratulations, everybody who's got their taxes done. Yeah, I just am not in it. I don't want to be in a dystopian nightmare, Rainey. I just get on with my life and vote the way I. Don't we have? I think this weekend, are we protesting on Saturday? Is the protest Saturday? I don't know. So just we show up, but we also have to get on with our lives. I don't know if I want to have somebody like him having that kind of control of my mental health. Yeah, I don't think that we're going to let them take away our social. That would be civil war. Yeah, exactly, Joel. The mega oligarchs are not happy with Trump at all. You really feel it with those cards that we just had of I'm out. That they had to be convinced to give money. You have people like Mike Johnson that showed up at billionaires' homes and have to schmooze and seduce them into writing the check. And now those same people that were guaranteed the sky and the moon are now calling Mike Johnson and everybody else that was getting money, and they have to explain themselves. You said this and that. What the hell is this crap? I gave you a lot of money for it. You can imagine what the calls are going to be. All right. So Trump's downfall is his health. I worry about these things when I see people's cards. In general, eating the kind of junk food. Speaking of which, am I the only one that's noticed that the fish witch is becoming increasingly small? Am I the only one that notices this? The fish witch, it looks like a little mini, I don't know what. Fish witches taste delicious, but they have shrunk in size. It's like a mini, little tiny mini thing now. The fish witch. You got to get 2 of them. One isn't enough. All right. Trump's health. I don't see him being able to do the presidency on his own. That's the underlying problem, in the sense that this is somebody that will need cooperation. He's somebody that will have to have help from others. Wow, I see him leaving the presidency. Almost makes it out like the president retires. Like he leaves and everybody's happy. He's exhausted and he leaves. What a weird thing. I wonder why he did that. Because you've got a 3 of Cups and the Empress. It could be ill health, but I don't think that Trump's going to complete his 4. Look, people didn't think that Reagan could complete it, and he did, didn't he? So we will see. It doesn't look good. Well, 8 of Cups to walk away from everything. Yeah, not good. Bitcoin took a dive today. That's surprising because you would think everybody would put their money into Bitcoin and pull out of the stock market. So, will Musk leave? They don't love me. My feelings are hurt. Yes, his feelings are hurt. I'm sorry, Mr. Musk. What is going on with Doji? He's heartbroken. I'm doing it to help America. And look at it. I'm being persecuted and I'm like Jesus. He loses to the Ace of Wands. So the Republicans are corrupt and that's why they're stopping me. Now he's accusing the Republicans of being corrupt. Hopes and fears, karmic endings, and then the final outcome. You know what? Marco Rubio has launched an investigation on this guy, and this guy is going to get flag. I mean, he got the wrong enemy. Final outcome is the devil. He's compromised. Musk is compromised. Yep. Heartbroke. He refused. Oh, by the way, he's refusing. He doesn't want to hand over what he took. So there's something they want to see what he took or what he did. And he is hiding it. Exposure of hidden information. Inverted Empress. You know who he reminds me of? Trump. This is my secret classified documents, and I'm taking them home with me, and I don't have to give them back, and they're mine forever. No, you have to give them back. No, I don't. They're mine. Now we're right back there again. Only we're back there with Elon Musk, where he's like a pack rat, similar to Donald Trump. Only it's data and information. What a strange. Yeah. Marco took his power away. Little Marco, I know. Isn't it weird that this fish sandwich? Am I the only one? I love the fish sandwich. It's my favorite, but one is not enough for lunch. I mean, it's like it's a little mini petite thing. It's not enough. You got to get two of them, and then a large French fry, and then and an apple fritter. So bad for you. Oh, Bitcoin is tethered to the stock market. Interesting. That's scary. Oh, Musk said, according to Valerie, that he was going to continue as a consultant. Well, good for him. Well, all right. So we've got lots of people here saying that they do love the fish witch. So the question, Ivor's yummy. So the question is, of course, did you notice the shrinkage of the McDonald's is denying shrinkage, but there was this guy there saying that, yeah, like, a block of cheese, they used to get 30 slices from a block of cheese, and now they get 32, right? Everything is a little bit shrunk in McDonald's. But it's just pathetic what they have done to their fish witch. I remember those fish witches being like this, and then it became like this, and then like this, and now it's like this. And it's like, oh, come on. It's like literally this tiny. It's real fish, and that's the problem. I think that the problem is that it's really expensive. A fish sandwich is really expensive. So they keep making it smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually you're going to have like a little tiny. But it's not just that it's gotten small, it's that they keep denying what we can see very clearly is that the fish witch is shrunk, but It's about, I'd say 15% smaller than when I was younger. Rich said the same thing. Yes, it's smaller. Thank you. I don't like people gaslighting me. Is it? I'm saying like, nope, 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 nope. And I was Googling it, and like all these people are writing in, what happened to the fish witch? What happened to the fish witch? Why is it so small? It isn't. No, it isn't. Yeah, fish sliders. Exactly. They're fish sliders. That sounds really good, though. Yummy. Fish sliders. Yummy, yum, yum. What a great idea. Oh, I love those fish sandwiches. But I agree with Trump that the best, I picked the same thing as Trump, which is the Big Mac and the fish, because just the fish by itself is not enough. And just the Big Mac, if you're really hungry, you can do more than that. Large fries, go for it. And I'll do I can do a regular Coke, or I can do diet just to reduce the amount of carbs is fine. Oh, and then and he likes to get the apple crisp things. Those are delish. Oh my gosh. Fish, filet of fish. Oh my god, I love the filet of fish. I do. I love it. Yes, but the filet of fish is very specific. They take a piece of cheese and they cut it in half, and you have one half a slice of melted cheese. That's all they give you on a McDonald's fish sandwich. But if you get a fish sandwich and it doesn't have that little bit of melted cheese, it's just not the same. The filet of fish, you got to have the little tiny hint of melted cheese. Oh, you only allow yourself to eat a few. Oh, no way, man. If I'm going in, I'm going in. I love food, man. Okay, so right now I'm having a coffee. Sometimes I'll have an English tea. Two, I'll be, yes, I like that too. I like that first. I'll go for that first. That Big Mac, I'll go for the Big Mac first. And then once I'm done with my Big Mac, then I open up and I go for the fish witch. The filet of fish, I think there's could be kosher depending. I don't think they put it on the same grill, and it is a kosher fish. So I think it's kosher conservative, depending upon how froom you are, how religious you are. You could theoretically go and have a fish sandwich, and probably it would be kosher. But it's polk, right? Is that the fish they use? It's polk, which is not a particularly expensive fish when you think about it. I don't think they cook it on the grill with the meat, and that's why technically it might be kosher. I think, don't they just put it in the microwave for 30 seconds or something? I've seen them do that. Um, I think if you're really strict, you wouldn't eat it. But yeah, it's like, what can an Orthodox Jew? The French fries, you could do the French fries, and you could probably do the fish witch. Fish witch tastes really good with an orange soda. That's the winning combination, by the way, is fish witch, French fries, and orange soda. Yeah, it goes with an orange soda. Oh, it's wild Alaskan haddock. Yeah, so it's kosher. Oh, it is Pollock. Either one. I just found out that grouper is not kosher, and I was like surprised. Really, grouper's not kosher? I love fish sandwiches, but nobody makes them as good as McDonald's, in my opinion. The best is, they've done like taste test, and I think you could be as good as McDonald's and do a larger version of the McDonald's and use a whole thing of cheese, then it would be better than McDonald's. Yeah, I think Pollock is a lot cheaper. To be kosher, it has to have fins and a tail. So shrimp, there can't be shrimp in it, and there isn't. But pollock is a kosher fish. No, catfish is not kosher. I mean, I eat a lot. I'm trying. You know what? I'm back, and I'm trying to do more things to kind of be a little bit, a little bit more observant, as they say. I don't know. Oh, the Maker's Diet book. Ooh, that sounds interesting. That sounds very cool. McDonald's, yes, good stuff. They're bottom feeders. Well, they gotta have fins and scales. So they don't have scales. And yeah. Ooh, Aruba. They have seafood every Friday. That sounds lovely. Yummy, yum, yum. Caviar. Sturgeon is not kosher. So the caviar is kosher if it comes from a kosher animal. So like salmon caviar or whitefish caviar would be kosher. Yeah, so if you're vegan, then you don't really have to worry about it too much. I mean, vegan restaurants are considered kosher. You can go to any vegan restaurant. Catfish don't have the types of scales that are considered kosher scales. They have small, little, tiny things which are not recognized as scales. They have fins. Yeah. Well, that's it. We can't all be wrong, right? So what does that mean? It means that uh, they are lying to us about the fish sandwiches. We've taken a poll here. I'm not crazy. Everybody notices it. See, why would you lie and drive people crazy? Everybody's saying to you, "Hey, we see that the fish sandwiches are smaller. Own it." Okay, so before we go, we're going to go ahead and just check to see what is in store for the rest of the week. If there's anything we missed, we'll just do a quick check for the rest of the week. Well, it's obvious. There's a conspiracy. The things are shrinking. All right. Stock market will continue to crash. Be wary of strangers bearing gifts. There's a Knight of Cups coming in over this tariff, which means like diplomats or people that are trying to iron things out with Trump. But there's a feeling of warning here. Three of Cups coming into seventh position, or first position, excuse me, with a Six of Swords means that we're entering into a time which could be seen as like strong women's time, armistice. 6 years would be a very long time. I feel like the energy is shifting towards women, ironically enough. It's the worst of times and the best of times, right? People are grieving what they've lost. We need the ERA, folks. We get our wish regarding the King of Swords, which is the president. I'm seeing a stock market crash again tomorrow. People are beginning to feel foolish over the issues of their decisions and then feeling stuck or trapped. People feel stuck or trapped by their decisions. Hopes and fears, Four of Cups, that we will be trapped by our decisions and also that it's not changeable, that they won't be able to change things. Final outcome is the Emperor. I feel like some source somewhere of sanity comes in and fixes the situation. You know, these are auspicious cards. Like Emperor would be reason and sanity. Three of Cups would be a celebration. Even though we have a Tower as the base of the issue, things are shaking up. One thing I would say to people that I have learned just being a remote viewer for the last, I don't know how many years, but just looking at global and political things the last couple of years, it takes a very long time to see how plans get implemented years down the line. Like the rebuild of Gaza would be an example, or what's happening right now with the fall of Iran. How many years they've been planning and how many years they've been taking down Iranian leadership, right? Working from within, creating spies within the Iranian Guard, assassinating the head of Hamas, assassinating their vice president in that plane crash. Most people know that it wasn't an accident. They were afraid that they were going to have another religious nut job in power because the head of Iran is 80-something years old and they think he's on death's door. So all these things that are happening have been planned for a very, very long time. So even though it's Trump that's going in and, oh my God, Trump is going into Iran and it's this terrible thing, we have to remind ourselves that all of this stuff got planned a long time ago. And to just view it like that. I mean, I don't even know if I don't think that Biden would have changed the rule because the data was the data. It's like December 20th, 2023. So this is almost, a year and a half ago? So it's just an example that these things get planned out years and years and years and years and years and years and years in advance before they get acted on. Yeah, so my advice would be to just get on with your life, take care of yourself. Things will probably stabilize in May, and if you just take care of yourself, you'll be fine. Yeah. It's difficult to watch it, even though we ourselves are not in danger. It's difficult for us to see war somewhere else, a child dying or something like that, right? Because, we're decent human beings, right? Yeah. All right, my loves. Thank you so much for hanging with me. This was nice get together. Yes, Pat, I think that's where we're headed. Asking about Doji. Yes, I think that's exactly what the remotes are saying, is that Marco Rubio wants Elon Musk prosecuted. Yeah. That he's on to Elon Musk, that he sees through him, and that he sees him as a criminal and he wants him. He's seeing things that's making him want to call an investigation. That's what's happened. Yeah, exactly. I don't think so. I think Musk is in trouble, and I think that there are people in the Republican Party who've declared war on him, and he's he. If it were me, I were him. Look, what he tried to do, there are Republicans that see it that are taking care of him. He has made enemies in DC. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, my love, so much for hanging out with me. If you need to see me as a reader, if you're trying to get in, you can find the information below this video. You can book me through Booksy. Everyone's talking about fish witch sandwiches. I know, right? And it's horrible. They shrunk them. It's a crime against, I don't know, something. It shouldn't happen. All right. If you're trying to get in for a reading, check the information below. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. We'll see you next time, everyone. Thank you, hon. Bye-bye. Ooh, Iceland cod. Yummy, yum.